resting place. It's so good to see you. How's your day going? How's your evening going? How's things going in general? Please let me know in the comments down below, because it's always good to check in with you each and every day. So today I wanted to focus a little bit on emotional nourishment, and I actually made a few notes on my laptop next to me here on emotional nourishment and a few things you can do to nourish yourself, particularly from an emotional state. And this is something that I have spent like my entire life being completely bewildered by. Definitely not a person who was in touch with my emotional state, I guess. Definitely a concept that I've struggled to understand for the longest time, I guess. I think I mentioned it in the video the other day, but growing up, talking about your emotions wasn't something, nourishing yourself emotionally wasn't something that was ever in my reality, growing up, I just learned to put up and shut up, with the various things that went on in my life. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have had similar experiences, so it's a real privilege to be able to engage in emotional nourishment and become a bit more emotionally intelligent and maybe aware of yourself and what a fundamental part the emotional state plays on the brain, the decision making, and being a rational, logical, reasonable human being, etc. So really I was in keeping in line with wellness, well-being, good mental health practices. I just wanted to touch on a few ideas with you, just to see if any of this resonates. Some of this has helped me. Obviously I'm no trained expert, and I'm not really handing out advice. I think this is more of a ramble for me about things that have worked, I guess. Things that I've got a long way to go with yet. So emotional nourishment, what does that mean? Well, to me it kind of plays into being aware of your emotional state, I think, and learning to have a relatively good emotional state. By good I mean like what's the word, that it's beneficial to you and your well-being and your productivity, and for you to be engaging with what you want to do in life, because as I just said, it all feeds into one. So the first thing that I noticed, the first thing and the hardest thing, is to talk about how you're feeling. I know it's a very alien concept to begin with, and it's a very difficult concept to find a safe spot to be able to, or a person who you can talk to and sort of open up a little bit to, but it really helps to do it, especially if you're in a bit of a tight spot or you're going through a rough patch. Just talking, kind of verbalizing the way that you're feeling, and hearing it back really helps so much. Secondly, I've found this over years and years of relationships and breakups and stuff like that, is that if you're going through difficulty or you're in a rough patch, you have to sometimes feel that emotional pain a little bit in order to heal it. So I think they say feel it to heal it. Like, you need to be able to be with that difficult emotion at times, not indefinitely, but in order to overcome the pain, you have to be there with the intensity of the pain for a little bit, possibly. That's what I found, because I would find myself wanting to escape the rubbish feeling that came along with, like, a breakup. Like, you just wanted to spend your time occupying your headspace with friends or going out and partying and this sort of thing. Never really setting time aside to just be with that painful emotion sometimes, which is important to do. I think it's the most natural thing in the world to do. It's like a child. When a child falls over, it cries instantly and looks for its parent. Emotional difficulty works much the same way. So you have to be able to let it out. And that kind of feeds into my next talking point, which was, what did I write? Recognizing and feeling the emotion in a safe and suitable place. For example, if you're full of disappointment, frustration, find a solitary place for yourself and shout into a pillow, go to a gym, or hit the bags in the gym, or run. Which is easier said than done, I know. So my go-to at that time was to stuff my face full of food and drink and all various aspects of avoiding the emotional difficulties. So yeah, there's that. A big one was to learn to be mindful or to practice mindfulness. So my next talking point is mindfulness, and I know it's the big, fashionable fad or idea, but I found it really works for me, to be able to learn to detach a little bit from emotions and feelings and thoughts and not give them so much weight, because they're constantly skimming through your head all the time. You're creating all these crazy circumstances, make-believe circumstances and eventualities that haven't actually existed in any time or space other than scenarios in your head. So it's learning to sort of recognize that and let go of it as a thought and not as a part of your worldview or reality. Mindfulness really allows you to do that, I've found, in a lot of ways. So big ups to mindfulness, I guess. And considering physical activities, such as something as easy to get into as yoga, running, swimming, CrossFit, whatever, physical activities can really help balance out the chemistry of the brain and really make an impact on the emotional state, I find, and there's definitely a sense of achievement that you get from doing a physical activity and completing it, and just, even though you might be feeling like physically rubbish, emotionally it's quite rewarding because you've done something that's out of your comfort zone as well. So, my last point. I don't know why I'm mentioning this really, because I'm very much guilty of some of these things, and that is, you should, for your emotional nourishment, try to avoid alcohol, sugar, caffeine, tobacco, etc. All the things that might bring your emotional state down potentially. It's weird because I think it's important to be able to, get your rocks off and be able to, let loose a little bit as well. It's part of the yin and yang and the balance of life. But I guess if you start to indulge in something too much, that avoidance of pain, replacing that pain with something else, just masks things, and it becomes a bit of a black hole. And sometimes things like alcohol, sugar, caffeine, tobacco, etc., can do that, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Chime in. It'd be good to hear some different viewpoints on it. Obviously, I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall here with this, and seeing if anything resonates with you, because I'm no expert in any way, shape or form. I'm just rambling in the hopes that maybe you might be able to relate a little bit. I know there are plenty of qualified people in the world to offer their sage advice and opinions. I'm just curious to know if you've ever been in any similar circumstances yourself, really. Yeah. I'm going to get back to doing a few trigger videos as well. Just to kind of wrap this up, I'm going to get back to some core ASMR sounds to help you sleep, or just to give you a pleasant sensation soon as well. So bear with me with that. By the way, I had a lot of fun doing the taking care of you RP the other day. Let me know how that worked out for you, if that was something that was like super cheesy or something that kind of worked. I'd be kind of curious to know, really. Anyway, I'm going to stop now and just wish you a great day, great rest, great evening, and for you to take care of yourself and the others in your life. I'll see you in the next video, okay? So until then,